From humble beginnings of breaking ground in Sandton with its Stella Street office space to its first live business broadcast on June 1st, 2007, CNBC Africa launched in Sub Saharan Africa with a bang. Now, thousands of hours of locally produced quality business content later, and we're celebrating our 10th birthday. This is CNBC Africa, 10 years and counting. Let's just take it a few steps back into the past. What made you found CNBC Africa?
I think it was the opportunity here in Africa, and I came to South Africa in 2004. In October 2004, and it was to look for an opportunity around a business news television station. We had already had a track record of setting up a few CNBC properties in the Middle East and Pakistan, and at an arm's length we were also involved with CNBC India. The place just surprised me. It was a first world infrastructure, outstanding people, great systems that had been set up, and there wasn't a business news channel, a Pan-African channel at that time. There was a lot of negativity around the African continent, and we felt that there were a lot of businesses that were doing great business here. The JSC is one of the top exchanges in the world, and the other capital markets were developing, and there was nobody who was actually doing anything to encapsulate the whole business story or the economic story of Africa. So that was the opportunity that we saw, and both my partner Zafar and I, we actually felt that this was an ideal time to launch a television network here.
I liked what I had seen, particularly from the interview and those that had interviewed me, so I accepted. Still not knowing what I was going to get into, I had no idea or no sort of experience when it came to the media industry, but it excited me and it challenged me.
I think what really struck me was that we had one business channel at the time in South Africa. I'd obviously been a part of that team and the launch of the first business channel in South Africa. So that was what the market was accustomed to. CNBC Africa's aspirations were so much bigger. They were creating an Africa-wide business channel.
So when I look at the team we've built, the way their commitment into what we're doing, their commitment into the vision that I had laid out in 2007, and making sure that we hit each of these milestones systematically. We wanted to be in the events business, we wanted a print business, so we set out everything. So whatever we planned, we were able to establish.
Sid Wahi was brought in as fresh young blood to head up ABN Digital, the online division of CNBC Africa's holding company. Sid was to ensure that CNBC had a prominent digital space.
So we launched ABN Digital as a platform to house all of this great video content we've been creating on CNBC Africa. That's gone through its own evolution in the last couple of years. We've subsequently gone on to live streaming, so you can actually watch CNBC Africa on multiple devices across the globe, taste the African programming. We've licensed the CNBC brand in the digital space as well, so we launched cnbcafrica.com, and it's become a financial business news portal that caters to all of Sub-Saharan Africa.
The second aspect was integration of news from capital markets. Now that was a very strong value that we had set out with, and you talked about being in the JSC.
And it's a great pleasure for me today to welcome you to this venue and to really welcome CNBC Africa as our first anchor tenant.
And the World Economic Forum and other events, we've been strategic partners. We finished 10 years in our partnership with WEF this year. Not only do we have a very strong presence at Davos, but also the African agenda and the road to Davos. Our senior team's been working very closely with the World Economic Forum on setting the agenda for Africa, and we're very proud of that partnership. And I started the Africa Business Leaders Awards in about 6 years ago. It's our 7th year this year, and this was to recognize leadership on the continent. Our African business leaders face challenges which are, people don't really imagine what's going on in terms of running a successful Pan-African or African business.
I do think that the brand speaks for itself. It is internationally, it is the go-to sort of television, whether it's online or television, for in terms of business news.
We have seen people who came in believing in the vision, and they stuck to the vision, and out of that they have become brands themselves, because they believe in the future of not just South Africa, the future of the African continent.
What makes you different is the perspectives and the diversity of the reporting across the length and breadth of Africa.
I think CNBC has been able to tell the African story in such a compelling way that we've seen other channels mushrooming and telling the African story. I think that's a great success of this channel.
If you aspire to make money, to understand how important savings and retirement ultimately is for you and your family, then you should be watching CNBC Africa actually on a daily basis.
You know, this is a very proud moment for us. I'm personally, overjoyed hitting a milestone like 10 years. It's an important milestone for the business, for our people, for everybody who has supported us. So this message is basically for everybody who's been involved as a stakeholder, whether it's our advertisers, our staff, our suppliers. I'd like to thank everybody today from the bottom of my heart, for making us or enabling us to reach this milestone.